The Non-Aligned Movement Summit in Kampala, Uganda, has discussed the current global challenges facing the world. The summit is expected to end today. So for more on this, we're going to be joined by Ssenyange. He's from Kampala at the NAM Summit. Leon, good afternoon, and thank you for your time with us on the SABC at this hour.
Well, yes, indeed. It's been a busy 5 days in Kampala here with the Non-Aligned Movement Summit. It's a bloc made up of 120 nations having come out with no major alignment to major blocs or governing blocs. But the discussions here started on Monday with the business forum. Therein, the interactions around business and finance and the economics of the bloc itself coming through. Then the ministerial engagement on Wednesday and Thursday. Therein, critically, the issue of Israel and Palestine, the geopolitical tensions within the globe at this point being a matter of concern. But then also on the sidelines was the meeting of the members of IGAD, or the Intergovernmental Authority, and therein was the crisis of Ethiopia and Somalia, just as well the Sudanese war that has caused a bit of a ripple within the region of Eastern Central Africa. But going beyond that is the critical discussion of the Israel-Palestine issue. The countries here are seeking to have a common voice and a common stand on trying to arrive at an end of this crisis, and many have called for a ceasefire, an immediate ceasefire, and this many hope that will be the voice going forward.
Leon, thank you for that. So beyond, the NAM summit now, we know that Uganda moves on to the G77 plus China summit. Perhaps you could speak to some of the key issues of discussion.
Well, absolutely. With, of course, the NAM summit ending today, Uganda will shift gear into the G77 plus China engagement therein. And, of course, the program for Sunday will involve several remarks and speeches from the key heads of that particular organization. We have Cuba now, of course, moving its chairmanship, or the organization moving its chairmanship onto Uganda, which will be picking up their own. But then also the UN Secretary General will be here. And very much so, many are looking forward to what he'll be saying in that in that meeting. But looking at what the G77 plus China engagement is all about, there's been quite a lot of work put in during Cuba's tenure, but the demand for many has been how much further can the developing countries of the global south try and push on majorly the sustainable development goals. Not so many have made too much enough progress in that regard with the target of 2030. But then also the issues around economic governance, financial governance, achieving in areas of science, technology and innovation. So these will be some of the issues that will be tabled within the next 2 days of discussion within the region. But importantly though is how much the region of the global south.
All right, Leon, if you can hear me, we did seem to lose you there. Let's focus on Uganda as well, the East African nations now having the chairmanship of the Non-Aligned Movement. We'll also assume the same for the G77 plus China. How is Uganda planning to steer the demands of both of these blocs? All right, we'll leave that conversation. All right, I believe Leon is back. Yeah, perhaps you could speak to that, Leon. We're obviously looking at Uganda. Do continue.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. There's quite a lot of work, if I may say, for Uganda. The plate seemingly could be full at this point in time with the chairmanship of the Non-Aligned Movement, and now just as much moving into the G77 China. But that indeed is what is demanded of a developing country like Uganda, to try and step up to the stage and steer the rest of those that fall within that category to achieve particular goals. And like I had said earlier, Uganda falls within the developing countries, and critically is the achievement of the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals, therein which many developing countries have not put as much effort to attain, with the deadline seemingly knocking very soon. But then also the issues of economic development and financial development, and trying to assert themselves where they possibly can. So Uganda's stewardship could come through with a lot of work to do, but critically therein is having just as much support from all the other members to ensure that the goals and the targets and the priorities are entirely achieved.